I got given Oxycontin for that injury. For those of you who don't know what Oxycontin is, it is a pharmaceutical-grade heroin pill developed by a pharmaceutical company and then overprescribed to the American population, like extremely over. For like 10 years, they were giving people heroin for broken noses, sprained ankles. One person got it because of diarrhea. Another person was prescribed it for over 10 years. It was prescribed to a child as young as 11 as a result of this overprescription of this drug to the American population. Now, 5% of the United States is addicted to heroin. Can you believe that? 5%. It's unbelievable, right? Yeah, it is unbelievable. I've totally made it up. You guys need to be nicer to America, especially if you're English. They're your only friend left, motherfuckers. And understand the math in that. 5% of Americans, do you know how many Americans there are? 350 million. That's almost 19 million people. If there were 19 million junkies in America, even they would have to do something, because you couldn't do anything else, because people would be too busy asking you to borrow money. It's not 5%, it's 4%. I always feel nervous about that joke because I feel like people don't think that it's not that I don't mind heroin addicts, quite frankly. I find them pretty peaceful as addicts you encounter in society. Like drunks can off. Like, hey, where's Terry? I don't know. You. That is die. Like, but a heroin addict, they're just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's 4% of the American population. I see them all the time. The 15 million people are addicted to heroin in the country I live in. You encounter them. Like, I was at the LA train station, and I remember I went to the bathroom to use the urinal, and as I walked in, there was a guy shooting up in between the urinals, and I was just like, what? Because I'm not expecting it. And he was just like, hey man, the stalls were full, and when you gotta go, you gotta go. And we ended up chatting in that bathroom for 25 minutes. He then walked me to my train platform, at which point I discovered he was a vegan, to which I said, well, I guess beggars can be choosers. He did not laugh like you guys laugh. And then my train arrived. I went to shake his hand because we'd been talking for 45 minutes, and he went, whoa, COVID, and then just walked away. I can't be addicted to heroin. I'm not that COVID conscious. And so I just spent 2 weeks in bed waiting for this arm to heal. The first 5 days I was on Oxycontin. 5th day I stopped taking it. And I stopped taking it as soon as I could because this pill was, ooh. Like on the first day, I watched TV for 13 hours and that TV was not on. And I remember on the 5th day I came off it, they said it would trigger a suicide-like depression. They were totally accurate. My left side was completely immobilized with bandages and a cast, just hoping that my arm would heal. In my right hand I was holding, I'll never forget this, my terms of separation papers that had been couriered to me that day. And I was just looking at my bed, trying to figure out how the fuck do I get back in there in the least amount of pain. And then 3 bed bugs just walked across the duvet. And the only positive spin I could put on it was at one point I remember thinking, well, it'll be nice not to sleep alone, I guess. And I thought that was the lowest I was gonna go. And then a month later, my best friend called me and told me he had been diagnosed with something that was gonna end his life, more than likely in a few months. And it was the heaviest moment of my life. I just remember as a comedian, I remember thinking, I gotta say something to make this guy laugh. So I just said, well, it's nice to hear that I'm not having the worst year. And then he said, no, you are, I haven't shit my pants.